Lamont seems to look at the affordable housing problem of Connecticut as almost intractable. There's a little bit of headway we can make, but I am going to offer two very easy to do solutions that'll make a monumental impact in making housing more affordable in many Connecticut towns. Number one, stop making developers pay inordinate development costs. Municipal governments are at fault here. State a little bit, but mostly it's municipal, where they put on this requirement of plan after plan after plan. And what does it do? It empowers their zoning board because they get to say no a couple times and they get to crack the whip a couple more times. It also pads the pockets of consultants and environmental remediation people. Here's the result. Developers who might have a parcel on which they could put, say, 14 fairly low-cost homes, they get restricted down to 8. And maybe 1 or 2 of those 8 have to be even below market. They can't make any money on them. And if, God forbid, they have a lawsuit along the way, what developer wants to go through all that BS to walk away with maybe $12,000 profit and maybe have a lawsuit that puts him in the red? Towns should let developers do their work. Nobody wants to put up shoddy housing, okay? Because there are tenant suits and buyer suits that would really come from that. Let them do their work, cut down on the bureaucracy, and you'll get more housing. Also, you'll get more competition for that housing because there'll be a lot more developers willing to do it in the first place. When a town is stuck with, he's the only guy willing to come, well, his price isn't going to be as good as if there were 12 guys willing to come and you get to choose. Second, get affordable housing in areas that right now restrict the number of unrelated tenants in a home. Now, it does end up looking a bit like a rooming house. So what? If they're decent people, they keep property well, they're upstanding citizens, they just don't have a lot of money, then when the cost of their room is half or a third of what it would cost in the marketplace that's restricted, it's not a free marketplace, you end up getting good people at lower cost. You can end up with Now, the reason some towns put those restrictions on them is, well, they don't want carousing college kids wrecking the neighborhood. They don't want unclassy people. And you can't really legislate classy, so they end up using no more than 3 unrelated people as a stand-in. But 3 unrelated people can be very upstanding. They're all young, working people. I rent to people like that. And it's worked out very well. And it would work out better if I could rent to 5 in my 5-bedroom home instead of just 3. Now, there will be some towns or enclaves of towns that really don't want lower priced housing. They think it cheapens the value of their own property. And it's not worth fighting. It's not. There are enough towns that welcome more people, more activity, lower cost in the free market fashion that there'll be plenty of lower cost housing for people. Again, use those 2 diminutions of barriers and it'll overflow. So, if a few towns really want to restrict, so what? Why would somebody who doesn't have a lot of money want to live in a town where people resent that they don't have a lot of money? And by the way, I think that's very, very low. I don't think it's a matter of financial status. It's a matter of class. And class and financial status do not go hand in hand, but unfortunately, some perceive it that way. So I do have one reason and a solution for that too. Why people do want to live in towns that are snooty and don't want low income. It's because they like the better schools in those towns. What's the Stewart solution there? Privatize education. Give everyone that voucher that lets them go to Westport, even if they don't want to live in Westport. Lets them go to Avon, even if they have a hard time affording Avon. It will work beautifully. I'm Mark Stewart. Thanks for listening.